I'm Dr. Andrea Ellis, and today I wanted to review with you the men's hormone panel from DiagnosTechs. This is the test I use when looking at men's hormones. Most of the men that I work with, their blood work comes back normal, but they're frustrated because they feel like something's not right. So let's look at a sample test. All right, so this is what my report looks like when we get it back from DiagnosTechs. The sample report is for a theoretical 20-year-old man. And I refer to this test a lot, whether I'm talking to men or women, only because I love how it shows the diagram of the hormone cascade or the hormone stream. And I'll refer to it in either of those terms. And I like to use the the analogy where we're taking a bottle of champagne and we're pouring it into the top glass of like a champagne tree. And the champagne fills up that top glass and then spills over into the next glasses, and those fill up the next glasses. And so that's really what our hormones do. We've got hormones, precursors, and then final hormones, but they can shift back and forth. And we'll talk about that as we go through this diagram. So as we look at this pathway, the androgen pathway, you'll see on the top left-hand corner that all of our hormones start with cholesterol. That's what they're made from. And then we get pregnenolone down to DHA and progesterone. So both of those, when we're having a stress crisis, we're going to see a shifting of production of those sex hormones over to cortisol and aldosterone in our adrenals and our kidneys. But if all is going well, we're going to see this cascade down into androstenedione, down into testosterone, and then out to DHT, which is dihydrotestosterone, estradiol, and estrone. In men and women, we have the same cascade, although we're going to have different numbers. In women, we're going to fluctuate in our progesterone and estrogens with cycling. But the postmenopausal woman and the man will typically have static hormones. So this one, we'll see, this also has FSH and LH. I like when I'm initially doing a test with a patient to get this expanded hormone panel that has the FSH and LH, because this tells me what's happening at the pituitary. And if you've watched my video on the HPA axis, which is the stress response as it relates to the adrenals and the pituitary, when we have chronic stress, it will affect our sex hormones. And so by disabling or shutting down of that HPA axis, but that also can affect other organ systems. And so FSH and LH are hormones that come from the pituitary. And so if these are low or below normal, I'll know that we need to do some pituitary support for that man to help stimulate the rest of the hormones to be produced. And then one thing we're missing in this diagram is there's a double arrow between estrone and testosterone. So you'll see that, testosterone can go backwards to androstenedione, down to estrone, back up to testosterone, out to DHT. So we'll see hormone shifting. So sometimes if we're taking an exogenous hormone like a DHEA supplement or progesterone supplement, we don't always see that hormone staying where it needs to stay, where as DHEA or as progesterone, we'll sometimes see it start shifting down to andro and then down to estrogen or over to testosterone and then over to THT. So getting this report back from DiagnosTechs really shows me how this is shifting and going for my patients. So in my next videos, I'm going to be analyzing both this test and other tests to show you different possibilities and what I'm seeing and how I would treat that. So y'all have a great afternoon. Bye.